I'm gonna teach you how to UFC without any kicks, knees, or elbows, or anything like that. Today we're gonna do the Glacier pass. I think I did that the first time around as well. There's a lot of new faces, so we'll go over that passing style and a little bit from that, and then we'll end up with maybe some Q&A and stuff. So I think we, rather than starting off with some jumping jacks, we'll just get right into the technique. So we're going to start from our partner's half guard or very common like kind of position where you have one leg in between. However, in a lot of cases, your partner squares up, or else you square him up rather than being on the side here, where we do a lot of slides and stuff like that. A lot of times we end up coming up square into a position like this. Your partner has his frames on you. Maybe he's recovering some type of guard back that you position that you gained on him. But this is the timing for entering into the Glacier position. So let's say my partner is up here. He has good frames. His knee is, or his shin here is quite sturdy. It's hard to push it down or up or whatever. He has good frames as well with his hands here. So I can't really lean onto him without getting elevated. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna sneak this hand here on the belly, underneath his arm. And when we're ready, we're gonna pop up this frame at the same time as we drop our shoulder into his chest. And that's the most important thing when we get the underhook, is that we actually drop the shoulder. I can get the underhook here and it's not doing much. You can just re-pummel it right away. But if I drop my weight and my shoulder on top of him, then it becomes very hard for him to gain that underhook back. And as you can see here, his knee is still in my way, or his shin, and that's okay for now. So we're not trying to push too much to the side, to knee slide or anything. We're gonna slide to the opposite side. Okay, so here, he has his frames. When you're ready, we pop up this arm just to get the shoulder past, to get into this position here. We put our head to the mat or next to his head like this, and we put our feet out, or our foot out like this. The other one is on the opposite foot or groin from where we were doing a regular knee slide. So from here, we want to keep good balance. Obviously, if I start leaning too much this way, it's going to throw me over. So if anything, keep your weight slightly to, in my case, the left side, so opposite to your underhook. And then you can use this leg to extend and to stretch him out. If you need to put pressure on the right side, don't do it by leaning, do it by extending your leg. Now from here, I like to use my elbow, push the knee. As I push, I tuck my hand here to block him from clamping onto his leg. So I push with my elbow, and then I put my hand in the middle, and I take lock position. One of my favorite passes. You can really grind somebody from there if you get good at this. Stay in this position. They're trying to push you, and you're like a crawling glacier. That's why it's kind of called the Glacier pass. So we're here. Again, super common and open position, right? It's kind of here. We're getting close to opponent's guard. We have one leg in between. He might even have it clamped. It's not a big deal, right? So we're here. He's gonna start pushing on me. I just put this hand on his stomach here, and I drop. Here,
keeping the weight slightly here, using this, extending this leg for pressuring on the opposite side, using my elbow. And then you see I turn my hips a little bit to get this leg out of the way. And the elbow. Okay, give that a go. Let's go. Okay, there was a ton of good questions as I was walking around, helping out. And I'm gonna share a couple, and then if we have any questions, we can go for them now about the position, because it is a pretty tough position, and it does, like everything, it does require a good bit of balance and flight time in this position. But I guarantee if you get the hang of the position, if you give it a go, it's going to become a big part of your game. And not only if you want to do this specific pass, but if you like tripoding and committing your weight to the upper body and then figuring out a way for your legs to pass into mount or side control even, or whatever, keeping the weight on the guy, this is a great way to start, because it's quite a safe passing style. So one key thing is, like I said in the beginning, we need our weight on this side. The worst thing is when we come in here and we're like this and the guy just sweeps me over, right? So this cannot happen. You don't want this. But because he has this leg tucked and he has the overhook on this side, ideally, if he does sweep me to this side, I don't have any posts. So we want to make sure that our weight is on this side. So I said before, if you want to put more pressure on his groin on this side, we do that by extending the leg, not by putting our weight over. We want to think about ourselves as like a heavy blanket on top of it. We want to stay as low with our hips as we can, even though they do come up and down, but we want to be quick at staying low so that it does feel like much weight for it to move. So as I'm here, when I come, you can see I'm committed to the side quite a bit. So this leg is quite wide out because I have my weight almost completely on this side. The only weight that's left on the other side is from this leg. So if I need more, if I want to put pressure on his groin, I extend this leg and that puts pressure on him. And I do that quite a bit. So as he tries to maybe elevate me and sweep me, this is our cue. Pass usually. This is when he stiffens up his hips. He needs to tighten up his core and stiffen up his hips a little bit to be able to get that power to elevate you. And that's your cue to pass usually. That's the easiest way to get around. If he's just trying to stay tight and not let you progress, that's when it becomes a little bit more tricky, and then we use these tricks like I was showing with your hand on the inside, dealing with all that stuff. So another question is, what if he just goes straight into clamping that leg, right? Like some people they don't like to use this. This is definitely, I'd say, a better option for him because he still has me backed up a little bit with this frame. But some people just accept what's it called, the quarter guard, if you will, where he just clamps this leg, right? So as I'm in here, he just takes that knee down and clamps the leg right away. In which case, if it's coming this way, I can go into knee slide, obviously. But if it's on the other side, sometimes it can be a bit of a hustle to get this leg up, right? It's kind of stuck in between. In MMA, I would just race up and start punching him in the face. But as we're not doing that, we're gonna do another option. And so I try to get my knee on the inside here, and I start raising this up as high as I can. If I can get behind his head, That's perfect. See how I've stretched this whole side out. So as I've done that now I bring this leg up and now I can clear more easily. If he still has this side tucked like this, it can be tough. And this can create, like, he can elevate me, all this kind of stuff. I need to put him in a position where he's kind of struggling. I need to offset him a little bit, not have him in a great position to move. So stretching out this side before we get this leg out is key, especially if you're going against somebody who's got a good guard. You know, those guys that can like literally hold on to your little toe and that regains their guard. It's like you're past pretty much, but there was this little small bite they had. And it's like they've got their guard back. What the hell is going on? This is usually the key to pass those guys' guard is to break their upper body and their posture rather than thinking about trying to beat them to it, because they're so fucking flexible they can swing their legs behind their heads without using their hands. Any questions on this? Was there anything else that, yeah?
Sometimes when I podcast, they use the head to post the power leg, and they put their foot on my hip, and I can't press anymore.
They put foot on a hip like this? Yeah, that should be, maybe you're too low then. This should be almost impossible to do from here. I don't know what, like, you need to really detach from them. If you stay close, if your head is close on the other one side and your shoulder and you've got that cross control, this is one of the keys to jiu-jitsu, is gaining this cross control is what we're going for here. If you have that and you have your weight on top of him and to the side like this, it's going to be super difficult. And then if for some reason you've got a BJ Penn in your gym that can just bring their leg all the way up, or they're much smaller than you maybe, then this arm's key to block everything. And then use that movement of theirs to pass. As they're trying to do a move there, like I said, then the hips are engaged. This is where you can go.
On the butterfly side, do you ever prefer the underhook versus blocking the leg?
Usually I don't, because they can start elevating me a bit more. My key here is to keep all my weight on one side, so I'm quite committed to one side. So ideally I would like this post. You can for sure if you get his hand up, elevated. However, if you get your hand trapped in there, then it can be maybe a little bit uncomfortable, and then you're kind of stuck. It's hard to move. But I see what you mean. If I can get to here,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Pass. So, in a lot of cases, when we come in here, he starts feeling this type of pressure, he might just say, oh, fuck that, I'm going to the side. So he locks up and maybe even locks your leg in, and you can see from here, this is blocking me from getting my shoulder in here. So this knee is now, I can't get to the inside because he's quite committed into that Z-guard, or whatever you want to call this, knee shield. So this guard is very popular. A lot of people use it, and it's a good guard too. It's hard to get past. So I have a really nice way that I use all the time, and it's a lot revolved on getting his knees together. But I also have to get this leg out, because there's no point with this leg stuck in there. So I'm gonna start immediately putting weight on him, and I like to play like this. I don't put my weight over him. I put it in, like trying to kind of crush him with my weight, staying low and kind of pushing him in a little bit. Not crazy, but that's the pressure. That's the pressure will open up, get him to push me away, and just get him to engage his legs a little bit. This hand is kind of hanging to the side here. It's a pretty safe spot for it. And then all you have to worry about is not put your head in a stupid place as you're doing this, you know, where you can like just grab a hold of you and get you into a shitty position from there. So just keep it centered and stuff. So here, let's say he has his strong, big legs, which is usually the hardest to deal with, I find, with this type of guard. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my shoulder on top, my weight is coming in, and I'm gonna start drifting to the side. So I'm gonna knee slide below his knee, pretty much. And as I do that, this hand is heavy. I put my head down on him, and I place his legs between my legs. This is one of the best ways to pass somebody's guard, is when you get their legs between the legs. It's quite comfortable for him. You have loads of options. Most of my passes are, I try to pass to the mount if I can, or at least have a pass that opens up the option that I could go straight into mount. And it's harder for the guy on the bottom to defend that kind of passes where you can drop to the side if you need to. You have options of however he's trying to elevate you and move you around. You can slide into mount or slide to side control, ideally to both sides. Right? And this is definitely one of them. So we're here, in this position here. I put my weight down. I'm quite tucked. I'm not going over like this. And this hand works as an anchor. So if I feel like I'm falling too much, I need to bring myself back. This arm is kind of an anchor that keeps me back so I can commit more weight forward. So I start sliding my leg to the outside, using my shoulder to pin his hips or his leg for a second as I step over. And now we're in this position here. Now I clamp my elbow down. I start crawling up his body, getting that cross control here, putting my head and starting to flatten him out. Crawling into mount again. As you can see here, that it's also an option to go, you can go this here to the side if you want, but I recommend crawling into mount. You want to see this again, or yeah? So this super common type of guard. We didn't get to the inside here. He's more pressuring down with the knee, and we're not. I can't get to, like, this is no point. This knee is in my way, so I can't get a proper underhook from there. So I back up, I go here, start putting weight on him, messing around here. The knee slide to the side, keeping all my weight down to get to here. Grab around the waist, hug, put the elbow down. I don't want to leave it up, so you can just, this is not good, so I keep it tucked like this. Now I start crawling up his body. Again, kind of like a glacier. Trying to get this head here so I can flatten him out. This heavy, again, I'm slightly on this side. I don't want to be on his hip here where he can off balance me. I'm here, because he tries to lift me up here. Very difficult, and if he really goes for it to extend his legs, boom, he's going to pull me into my position. Good. All right, let's do it. All right, a lot of people, a lot of details and stuff. Again, a couple of details that were super common, questions that super common as I was walking around. So, key as we're clearing the leg. weight down on this leg and dominating this space. This hand is not up yet. There's too much going on here, too much freedom with the legs. So I keep it down here for now because I want to step over, but then I move the hand up into this pocket. So we're here, I put my shoulder down, my head down, heavy as I start sliding to the side. Now you can see I'm free to move. I'm bringing my head up to talk, but it would be tucked down here very tight, right? I step over, now I slide the elbow up into the pocket of the hip. If I stay here, it's just gonna push me down, right? So maybe he's already started to push me down. I bring the shoulder up, and I clamp onto that hip. Now I pull my head into him again, and I start crawling. Let's say he has, this is another question. A lot of people use the frame, like this frame here. Annoying as hell, especially if the guy's tall and strong. So what do we do here? Maybe I can't even push into him, he's coming up to his elbow and whatnot. So instead of pushing into the frame, I start breaking up the frame. So I use my shoulder. Maybe it falls off, maybe it's still there, but it's not as strong. I start crawling towards his back. He doesn't like that. Doesn't like that, so he's starting to replace his frame to like push me out. I push him down again, and now I can put pressure onto passing. Does the same again. Start crawling behind. Okay, so this is maybe the most common thing that can happen. Another thing is that people start trying to bring this leg up, like he's doing here. So as I come down here, he starts bringing this leg up and back around, right? So if I am looking at what I'm doing here, I'm like this. This is an easier option for me. However, if I dominate this space in the middle, here, now it's tough. Very tough for him to bring that leg all the way over. I also have this arm to help me out. And his only option is to start pushing me away with his frames. In which case, we start breaking him up back and forth, off balancing him, putting him on his back again. But I need the elbow over the hip. Any questions on that?
See one more time.
Yeah, see one more time from the whole thing. So we're here, using the strong knee shield. First my arm comes down here as a hinge. I'm starting to push and mess with him a little bit, right? I start dropping my weight down, my shoulder, my head, everything, and the knee is going this way. I'm over now. I try to grab and hug the knees. He's probably pushing me away at this point. But I turn to get my shoulder and elbow in the pocket. Now I start pushing into him. He comes up. I need to try to get this leg or this frame off, or else I can also start pushing him back on his back like this. So if he comes up, I'm putting this pressure on it. He's not having it. I can't push him. He's still coming up. I start coming. Okay? Makes sense? Anything else?
Question.
Yeah, sorry.
When you're initiating the pass, what are the pros and cons of taking your arm and from behind his butt and then weaving it into the bottom leg? Or you
Instead of just staying up the whole time?
Yeah, just initially to kind of control the hips and legs before finding the underhook.
Yeah, exactly. It's about, like, if we go back into the position, it's about controlling this leg. So if I'm here, I go here, but now it's going to be hard for me to get. He's going to be able to block me probably, especially if he's got limbo legs and stuff. So I can't put enough weight in the middle of his foot, if that makes sense. And like, there's way too much space here, right? He can just, I'm not going to get over the leg. Whereas if I'm here, Now, I use my hand, my elbow is kind of blocking everything. You can't bring that leg back in. It might still be a little bit of a battle, but as you get used to it, you'll have the advantage versus up high, it's going to be really tough.
So you wouldn't leave your right arm and between his legs to catch.
Like this one here. Yeah, I prefer going like this. But this is, I do this sometimes in the beginning. So as I go here, as soon as I slide, I bring my leg to the outside like this. My arm, sorry. But if you prefer this, you can do that. You can go here and even here. This might be an option. But what happens a lot to me is that against good guard players is when like I struggle getting like this. But I find when I straighten my arm down, it doesn't have any space. So I think maybe that's where that comes from, is starting here, and as I go and he starts lifting up the leg to catch me, I bring my arm down to keep this leg down so that I can actually pass over. But definitely play with that. And always, everything I'm showing, you're gonna have your own version. And there's gonna be little details that you prefer, that I don't, stuff like that. So definitely feel free to do your version of it and play with it. Yep.
Do you have any adjustments against a really long leg people that are able to that low skiing across their ankles and clamp onto that hip bone?
Yeah, like this is what I'm doing to that slide to. That's why I started doing this. Because the guys, we have one guy in the gym that has got very long and strong legs, and he plays this game all the time. And you know that kind of stuff where you start sprawling out. There's no way I could do that to him. Like if he doesn't cross his legs and sleeps on it for a second, then maybe. But it's tough. So that's why I put my knee out to the side, because it's going to be really hard for him to hold on to that. So as he's clamping my hip here, it's kind of stuck. It's almost like I want to just get out of it, right? So, and which I can do. I can back up for a second to put and then take it, slide from this way. I find this is exactly why I started doing this. Make sense? Anything else on this, or any other questions about something else? We can have a little Q&A if you want for a couple of minutes before we finish. If there's
Like stable the legs when you do this task? Stable the legs with your knees, for example?
Can you show me what you mean? Yeah, just throw it in there.
So, task, I'm doing something like this.
Yeah, you can, absolutely. That's definitely an option. Sure. Yeah.
Spent a lot of time setting to be for very easy, setting about it for the guy doing it, what should he be looking for?
Yeah, he's going to be looking to use this frame for you to push in a long way, so he can elevate. He's going to be using good frames to maybe. There's all different types of stuff that people do, but I think mostly it's like tiny little elevation, getting good grip of your arms and stuff. Maybe your head even. So that's why I said in the beginning to kind of come back and low and pressure in that way. That's when it makes it hard for him to elevate you out of balance. I use it mostly to get him to have butterfly guard myself, or else to swing underneath. Yeah.
Is it worth pinning or control the ball?
With the wrist?
Yeah.
The like on the
Yeah.
side? Yeah, absolutely. If you can, if you're like, he does that quite a bit, like pinning your arm to the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's annoying as hell when you're on the bottom and somebody pins your arm like that. Makes you start overthinking about that. And, oh shit, he's passed.
see oftentimes you have the possibility to go with a bodyguard, but
Yes.
events open, why do you prefer?
From there, I would grab the body lock loads of times, especially when he's coming up with this frame to make it even stronger, to clamp, go all the way into a body lock and just pulling him from there, going to the back, bringing him back on his back, and yeah, the body lock is a great option.
So if he tries to face up, he will come down.
Yeah, if he comes up to his elbow like this, that opens up. So the body lock is a great option. Yeah, maybe the best option.
If you've got the gi on, how do you like to stop some of those chokes that you're like the guillotine choke that based on?
I don't have a gi on. No, I haven't trained with the gi since like 2011, so I might not be the best guy to ask. However, you mean those loop chokes and stuff? Yeah. Definitely keeping everything tucked, tight, and then you have this hand to mess around. So if I'm on this side, you have this hand to block and stuff, and as he's looking for his loops, you're progressing, passing, and hopefully you've gotten into a position where you can fully through him before he gets any kind of position on you. But overall, keeping that head kind of centered off is a great option, so that he can't overlap over your head and stuff. But like I say, it's been a while. Just take off your jacket. Yeah.
Like, you want BJJ and MMA, what's the most useful part for BJJ training?
The most useful part? Well, BJJ becomes more simple. A lot simpler. So the simpler your game, the better usually. The more kind of pressure-based you can be is probably better, because scrambling can be tough when you're sweaty. So if you can limit the scrambles and control them and rely on really strong positions like body locks, cross controls, and stuff like that. And then also just realizing that you don't have much time in all these positions. There's like a few positions where you have time, but especially when you're on the bottom playing guard, whereas you can just kind of be patient and play in certain areas, you're getting hit in the face there. So you have to be framing, you have to bring the guy all the way in till you're keeping him away. And that middle space is just a quick visit through transition. Whereas in jiu-jitsu, you can just stay there for a while with like your tight frames and stuff. In reality, in MMA, this is where you get elbowed, punched in the face. So that's the main difference. But keep it simple, I would say, is a key. Yeah. Huh?
You can do CJI.
I would definitely do CGI. I'm gonna try and maybe to do the next one when I've hopefully finished my UFC career. We'll see, but I'm getting old. So.
Yeah.
Not anymore. All right, guys. Thank you very much.